Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. Mr. John Riggio joining us, our architect and CEO, author, pro tennis player, and so much more. Joining us live today here from Metuchen, New Jersey to talk more about, well, I'm not sure, but I'm excited to talk more about the book, your work, whether it's residential, commercial, and your career, because this man for years now surprises me each and every week with new stories about people he knows, places he's been. I mean, so thank you, John, for being here. What did you have in store
You're
for us
welcome.
today?
Yes, I would like to talk about some more things that are coming from my book, the autobiography, my own court, the life story of tennis legend John Riggio. And one thing I was showing in the book was I was just comparing when I was younger, I used to do a lot more things in a crowd where I lived. A lot of people used to suggest things for kids to do, stores to go to, things like that. So I just was saying a very interesting story. This is about someone who was also on national television all the time too. So when I was younger, we used to go to this electronics store. It was down the road, and on Saturday morning, there was a whole line of people outside buying video games. I was young. I was only maybe I was 13, 15 years old. I was very young. And we all used to go there, go shopping there, buy some video games, and the store was named Crazy Eddie. I
Oh my
don't,
God, I
do you
remember
remember
Crazy
that?
Eddie's. Oh, and the commercials were amazing. Yes.
So going there worked out really good. There was no problems. I used to go there with my friends and everything. And when I was there, I was talking to the salesman behind the desk, and I made friends with him. He was, friendly kid, and he knew that I was sponsored for sports too. He was
Wow.
involved with investing in sport players already. He wasn't too many years older than me. And from going to this store, I started to go back there like during the week. They asked me to go back there. I talked to him. I met all those people that were on television. The Eddie Antar, Sam, his brother, and Arnie Spinder. So I met all those people. They were even thinking about maybe having me work there. They all liked
Wow.
me. So I made friends with them separately. And I went back there. And in fact, I could share some pictures I have. It wasn't live pictures of me there, but it was pictures
Sure.
from years ago. And can you see this on the screen here?
Yes. Oh my
What
gosh.
this is
Oh
this is
my
the
God. The
YouTube.
commercial. I love it. You knew him. I can't believe this.
So just by chance that this electronics store we went to, he had these commercials and they were
Oh.
going all over the US. And I think he sort of became pretty famous about this. And so I made friends with them. I went back there a number of times. They knew the whole thing of my sport sponsorship. And they were very nice to me, showed me around their store, talked to me very nice. Uh, at this time, I think this was their best store, the one on Syosset, they were saying. So the
Yes.
owners that you see on the television and the owners of the store, they always used to go to this location. So when I was there, I met them there. And but one interesting thing about the thing with the Crazy Eddie is that the salesman behind the desk, he ended up getting involved with my sport contract later on. So let me just stop this share for 1 second, and let me just switch it first to the biography they have here. Okay, so this here is just like a tribute page to this. That I think this whole thing with the Crazy Eddie store really was pretty big back then. I didn't really know how big it was, but I see they have these things like the tribute page and everything like that. So this store was pretty big, and they were always very nice to me. Made friends with them back there. I continued shopping there at that young age, bought video games, things like that. And this here is just a page that I saw here on the internet. And then there was another one here. This is also just their biography they had here, real quick. Just shows the names of the people who were working there. And then I had made friends with them. And it just shows the names here, shows the Eddie, shows Sam. They have here also Arnie is on here too. And let's see what that is. Yes, it's over here into these paragraphs. I think unfortunately there was some problems with their business they put here on the biography, but this I really didn't know them about any problems. I was there, they were in the height of their business, everything was going great. They didn't have anything going on strange. Yes, and then it shows here Arnie Spindler. And they were all there at that Syosset location somehow. That was their favorite location. And that was the interesting thing. So they're known internationally, they're known nationally, they're on the television, and there's the usual things. I made friends with them. And what happened was just and also before that happened, also they were thinking about giving me the job to work there, like I said, and things like that. And so they liked me overall. So that was pretty good. Now, what happened is just a few years later, maybe like let me see, it was at least 5 years later after 1987, obviously going into 88, approximately 1989. So their business in 1989, it already closed. Crazy Eddie went out of business. They had some kind of controversy there with their business, with the owners. They out of business. But I'm playing at Sutton East in Manhattan. And the friend I made there, it turns out he is there following my sports. He's there watching me play tennis, which was really unbelievable. And I think outside, he sort of had a different place, and he what was there and was doing pretty good. So then he was
Mm-hmm.
friends with my sponsors. He wasn't just there all alone out of nowhere. I mean, he was friends with my sponsors, obviously, and he was there. And I talked to him again there. Um, the thing about him working at Crazy Eddie and me becoming a friend really didn't surface that much because I'm there playing and everything. But of course, he did know. I think I remember that the whole thing did get put together. That I was the kid that, was friendly with them and visited them and everything like that. And what happened was, as I was playing, he was backing my career too with my sponsors, and everything was going great because I was such a big winning
Mm-hmm.
player. Some of their sponsors had told me that I was really the best player they've ever had in the history of them investing in sports. So everything was going great, and during the time I was at Sutton East, as different events were happening, unfortunately, the tennis center had to close because of the passing of Carter Cooper, Miss Gloria Vanderbilt's son. So during that time, I was at home, and it sort of stopped the playing in between where I was winning great. There was no problems. The fan club really liked me. And it turns out this salesman from when I was younger, he is the leader of the fan club. They make him the leader of the
Mm-hmm.
fan club. And that's how I received a phone call from him, and my playing continued on. They did this on their own, and they were able to put together some more tennis matches for me. So while the Sun East was closed because they're in mourning, I was back playing a different location. So I was on the road now. But this kid, he had his video camera. He was very smart. He knew how to do things. He can call the tennis center. If there's any problem, he knew how to call over to them and stop any kind of problems, cheating, things like that, that you always start to encounter. And so he was able to do this whole thing. And my playing was still doing excellent during that time. And at the point, I was able to get a phone call from my sponsor. Gloria Vanderbilt gave me a call, and then I was back in the tennis center again over there at Sun East. So this whole thing with the my friend that I had made years ago, and then he's involved with sports, was doing this whole thing. That sort of ended, but my playing was back there, and he was still back there too. He didn't leave. He didn't have any problems, and he continued to watch my games too. And so that was really an amazing story. I mean, it took me so many years to piece this together. And this is another story of someone, really, this whole store that he was a part of that I met him that was on national television. I even went international, I think, for a while. There was, unfortunately, with their problems, it boiled into some international stories too. So this is was another amazing thing. And at the time, I wasn't really dwelling on the old days with the store, the electronics store, and things like that, going shopping. But this was really just like maybe 5 or more years later. This is what had developed. I'm playing, and he's there, seeing me play, and it was really a very interesting story that that's what's happening. And so I think that was happening. And I think growing from that story was another amazing story that took place. What happened is while I'm there at the Sutton East Tennis Center, I'm I'm there on a regular schedule, playing a lot of tennis matches, winning tournaments. And of course, there's a lot of money getting generated with the pro tennis. But one day, one young teenage female comes to the tennis center.
Wow.
I talked to her. She's telling me that her parents are in the hospital and she's there to pay their medical bills, which was amazing.
Oh my
She was
gosh.
very smart. She wasn't just someone wandering off in the street. She was someone who knew how to talk to my sponsors, and she was, even as a teenager, was able to invest in my sport playing. And so while I was there over the next few weeks and months, I was playing and winning big, and I won a tournament. And she was one of the fans there. And from this, what she really was looking to do, coming there to generate money for herself, somehow it was able to unfold. She was able to make money off of my playing. I have no idea how she was doing it or anything like that, but somehow she was really had amazing ability somehow, which is really as a young teen, someone who could do that, make their way down to the tennis center, pro tennis, investing, somehow this whole thing working out for her, and this story with her parents in the hospital, which was almost unbelievable story. I still remembering this, and I remember when I won that tournament, and then she was there outside the tennis center with some other sponsors and things like that, and there everyone was very happy, really happy, celebrating, and that resulted in her helping her parents. Was really unbelievable. Maybe something you see in movies, and but this really did take place. I was really impressed at how she was able to do something like that. As a young teen, she was able to really come there and do this whole thing, and everything worked out good for her, and it didn't turn into a big problem, where all kinds of crazy things happened to her. She was able to come there and see me win the matches and somehow get this whole thing with helping her family out, and that was amazing. And then she left.
Hmm.
She didn't take her chances anymore. She left, and I never saw that particular fan again. But it was an amazing experience. It was really sort of like a very clean, her coming there. and everything going great, and then her leaving. It didn't turn into anything strange, which was very good. I mean, that was an amazing story for her. And so I think that was one story also that is memorable. And I was thinking about it. I think that was something I was really thinking about. It's a really impressive story. I think that was amazing type of things. And so that's good. I think as far as jumping all the way to today, my tennis meetup has gone past 1,800 people now. It's still growing. Things are going very good.
Wow.
And so that is excellent. And I think uh, also thinking about the past, just as far as wild things happening that weren't part of these stories, but was part of, say, like the story I had told about and I wrote in my book. I wrote the story in my book about someone coming up to me on one of the big tournaments and trying to attack me. But I didn't put the rest of the story, and the rest of the story was even worse, but it was sort of a similar pattern to how those people were acting. What happened is that particular kid, he might have get arrested or something, and then somehow he made his way back to the tennis center, maybe a month or two or three later, and I saw him outside, and he must have been on drugs or something because he was trying to make like some kind of attack even worse. What happened is he was walking towards the front doors and he pulled out a gun. But like
What?
someone who must have been totally he must have drugged himself or something because behind him they had two uniformed police officers were behind him. And so as soon as he took the gun and started pointing it at the door where I am, they immediately grabbed him and arrested him. So that was his second thing, and he never came back again. They were able to really get him with him trying to attack me, which is similar to the story I had in my book about what happened to my sponsor, Gloria Vanderbilt, where the female attacker came back a second time. So he tried to do the same thing, but I was lucky. He wasn't able to shoot at me. So, I mean, that was pretty good. But it was even worse than what I had said in the book. I didn't explain every little thing. The book is too small for me to have every little detail in there. I could just
Hmm.
say a few things. I think some of those attacks and things I was sort of thinking maybe trying to remove more of them. I don't want to give them too much attention. I'd rather talk about the good things. I mean, this story, some of these other stories, like the young female investor, the friend I made at the electronics store, those are better stories. I like to put more of those things in. And then the attacks, I don't want to give them too much attention. A lot of people there may be living off of those type of news reports and things like that. So that is one thing about the book. Also, I try to minimize all those different things.
Oh my gosh. Holy cow. John, never cease to amaze me. It
Yes,
started. Well, you're the only person I can say what else, and you really have something exciting to say with what else. It's not just boring. Oh my gosh. You are
yes,
on fire. How do you manage all this and have a
yes,
career as an
yes,
architect and do all this? Oh my God.
yeah.
Well, anything else that you haven't done?
I have so many more stories too. I'm still thinking about it. I have to put them on other shows.
Oh my gosh. Wow. All right. And whew, all right. With that being said, let me ask, what is the last time you took a vacation? It's always work, work, work. And I remember last year you went away, right? You went overseas, but
Yes, yes.
what are you doing this summer? Anything
Sure,
exciting?
I have plans for vacations. Certainly they're coming up, yes.
Good. Well, yeah, the
I was
summer.
also I was also doing things for a while, going over to Cleveland, Ohio for a while. I was visiting there, my daughter was there, and one thing about Cleveland, Ohio, they have a bubble with the grandstand outside the bubble.
Oh my gosh.
which is a standard. That's what I was
Yeah.
explaining on a lot of the shows when they really have a standard of construction for tennis. They
Mm-hmm.
have a bubble, and then they have like the next expansion from that is the grandstands and things like that. They have a very interesting thing there in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. My goodness. John, sorry we're short on time today. We got a late start, but always fascinating. Tell us how we can get a copy of your book and how we can reach you.
Yes, to get a copy of my book, all you do is you can go onto the internet. There's so many different vendors for the book, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, um, all kinds of different companies there are different companies even from around the world that are listed. You can buy the book, the digital copy, and you could read it in any language very quickly. It translates. And other than that, for my tennis, you can go onto my Facebook page, John Riggio Pro Tennis Player, and I have links there, photographs, all kinds of stories. You can see all the different videos I have here. I have them all listed there on the
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Aw. Well, thank you again, John. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you and talk to you soon. Crazy. It is going to pull one of those commercials later. All right. Have a good day, John.
Okay, thanks. Nice talking to you, Jill. Bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.